Hi guys, happy hashtag Wealth Wednesday. And I tagged my good friends Craig and Jenny D, as they're known as in the industry. And again, what I've been doing every Wednesday now is taking it off of me and absolutely bringing on other people that are successful either in network marketing, online businesses, where you can start to learn more about them and hear what they do. Hi, Tracy. So I just wanted to thank everyone that is either on here live or watching the recording, because you need to hear from these two rock stars. They're amazing, and when they're here and on, I'm going to invite them on. Hi, Deb. Good to see you on here. And I think there is, I'm going to add Jenny in. So I'm going to wait for them to join. I actually really look up to them. Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
So welcome to the technology of Facebook Live.
This is amazing. It really is.
Great to be here with you, Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. So, obviously respecting everyone's time. Hi, Jen. Just want to say hi to everybody that's popping on. Again, if you guys feel compelled, definitely share this into any private group that you're in, your personal page, because you need to hear these stories, not from me, but from the people that I've worked with. And in the description, you will see a website for Craig and Jenny, and a Facebook handle and an Instagram handle. So if you do want to connect with them after this, I highly encourage you to. So before we get into the interview, I just want to read a little bit of a bio on these two amazing individuals. So Craig and Jenny D are highly successful entrepreneurs, executives, and companies around the world and the globe to amplify the results by identifying and removing barriers to the individuals personally and having professional success. They have learned firsthand after 33 years combined, which means they're very knowledgeable in what they do as financial executives, and a journey through life-threatening illness, that your true wealth potential lies in the health of your entire success matrix, including body, mind, business, relationships, and finances. When you begin with a creation of personal awareness and then create sustainable wellness strategies for the individual as well as the team, all can soar to new heights of success through their personalized coaching programs, total immersion retreats, wellness consulting, corporate development, and event training workshops, and motivational keynotes. They have proven results in taking lives to a new level of accomplishment, financial success, and personal fulfillment. Their footprint expands globally across 4 continents and 11 countries. So all I have to say is wow. So it's no coincidence. For those that don't know, Jenny and Craig, I had the pleasure of working with about 6 or 7 months ago. We've done numerous podcasts together. We stay in contact very often. And, people might read their bio and say, well, what did they need from you? And what I've learned is that any successful coach, executive coach, mentor, trainer, leader is never satisfied with where they are. So enough about me and more about you guys. So whoever wants to start, just if you guys can summarize, in what you guys came from, having the financial background, but also the passion for health and wellness, a little bit of your journey of where you guys were to where you are now, which kind of led us to connecting about 7 months ago.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we were in finance for, as you can see, a lot of years. And quite frankly, finance and being corporate stopped being fun. It just really, and we wanted to take our lives and our business to another level. We wanted to really, we were always healthy and we were always fit and nutritionally trying to eat well. And we wanted to share this with everybody else. Well, what turned out is that we had tried for many years to get our business started, but what ended up happening is that because I was still in corporate and she was home with little Giada, that we always had these excuses. And then we decided to we went cold turkey and I quit. And we said, we are going to start this business. And what the catalyst was is that actually Jenny, she had gotten sick and we had realized that one of the biggest parts of what we do is not just the fitness part, not just the nutrition part, but we call what the glue that holds it all together, which is the mindset. And once we got the mindset part right, then everything else was glued together. It all fell into place. And that's whenever we said, this is what we have to get out to the world. And that's whenever we started Craig and Jenny D.
Yeah. And so how we met you, interestingly, is because we had hired business coaches. We knew from the beginning we needed a business coach to show us how you go from an idea and turn it into a sustainable business because we have 5 kids at home. So there was no option to say, well, it's going to take a while to get the income rolling. We had to figure out a way to monetize immediately to replace the income that we were losing when he left corporate. So that was step number 1, hiring a business coach. They helped us in many, many different aspects. But interestingly, because we had so many contacts from the corporate world, one of the resources that we weren't using was LinkedIn. So you and I connected actually on LinkedIn. You had reached out to me. You obviously saw that we were both in the Philadelphia area, number 1. We both had a background in health and wellness, number 2. We both had a journey through network marketing businesses. So there were all these connections. So you reached out to me, which is what you then taught us how to do later on, once we hired you as our coach as well, to start to utilize those contacts, not only that we had on LinkedIn, but build an entirely new community of people that looked like us within our LinkedIn profile. And it's been amazing. And so first of all, let me say this, that Scott, I love you as a person because I feel, and Craig believes this as well, that the right people always walk into our lives at the right times. And you were not only the right person that we needed at that moment in our lives to help us launch what we were doing on LinkedIn, but you were a person that we needed in our lives because the synergies that we have in our stories are going to create just amazing opportunities and collaboration moving forward of how we can help more people in this world. So we're so blessed to have you as part of our lives, not just as a coach on LinkedIn, but as a business partner moving forward in different collaboration opportunities.
I feel the same exact way about you guys. And the beauty of LinkedIn is that, and just social media in general, we would have never connected if it wasn't for LinkedIn. We would have never been able to collaborate. We would have never been able to do things with each other. And this relationship would have never been formed because, obviously, like you said, people do step into your life for a reason. And sometimes we don't know what that reason initially is. It may be one thing, and then it completely turns into something else. And the great thing is, we're on very similar journeys. And I just want, the people that are watching that may just have a network marketing business or just a coaching business, even though Craig, Jenny, and myself, we have network marketing experience and coaching experience, what we both do and what I taught them can be applied to any business model. And no matter if it's a coaching business, a coaching practice, keynote speaking, doing immersions, doing workshops, having a network marketing opportunity, it all requires one thing for all of those things to grow. And that's more connections that lead to conversations, that lead to people coming into your opportunity, business, immersion, workshop, or whatever you're doing. So let me ask you guys, after going through what we did together, what was the immediate value that you saw from what I was teaching you guys, and what has been the extended value of what you do ongoing after I worked with you?
Sure, and I'm going to answer that question in just one second. I want to say one more thing first, which I was just explaining to 2 of our clients last week at the Total Immersion Retreat. We were talking about you. I don't know if your ears were burning, but we literally were in the pool doing one of our coaching sessions, and one of our clients, Nicholas, who I see is on here, and Edith also, they were asking about them beginning to utilize LinkedIn in their own business because they weren't currently utilizing it to its capacity, much like us. And I want to talk for a moment about how you connected with me, which is through a private message on LinkedIn. And the beauty of that is this: when it comes from LinkedIn, when you receive a private message there, you generally can be pretty sure that it's a business reason that they're reaching out to you. I know when I personally get private messages on Facebook, I don't always answer them because I get a lot of private messages from a lot of people that aren't interested in anything to do with business. And quite frankly, it's not safe to answer them in many cases. But LinkedIn is very different in that capacity, right? And so generally, if somebody's reaching out there, I have never felt unsafe in answering one of those messages. So sure, I didn't know who Scott Aaron was from Philadelphia, and this great looking guy with all these big muscles and stuff. I probably would not have answered Facebook, but I felt safe in answering you on LinkedIn because it's a business page. And so that is how it all got started. And what you taught us to do was not only increase the number of followers that we had on LinkedIn, the number of connections that we had, but to begin reaching out to these people through private messages. And sure enough, it works because what I've learned is that most people are willing to respond to you through there because they feel safe. They feel. Lost you 1 second. Somebody's trying to call. So people feel safe in responding to that because it is actually a business reason to be reached. So the immediate impact for us was that we were able to begin to increase the connections that we had on there right away. You started that with us day one there. We learned, and you created a new comfort level for us. I had always believed from my corporate career that your connections on LinkedIn were only people that you actually had worked with in some capacity. I didn't understand how to create a broader network of people that looked like me that we could exchange value between. And so I felt unsafe really in doing that because I thought I was intruding into people's business connections. But what I learned is that people are very open and willing to create that community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because they see value in other people that are just like them, and they want to learn and they want to collaborate. This is what's so gorgeous because we're not all competing. I mean, we can, but the world doesn't function more efficiently if we all compete. The world functions more efficiently if we all collaborate. And the people that are willing to connect with you on there through that type of interaction are the people looking for new collaboration.
They are. They want to, we all want to serve each other. I think that's what it comes down to. It is helping everybody out because we know there's an abundance out there in the world of money, of opportunity, and the people that we're connecting with, because of how you showed us how to do that, they are the ones that understand there's an abundance out there that we can help each other out. That it isn't, like you said, a competition. It is that we can all earn enough money and enough business throughout the entire world to make us all happy. And how are we going to do it together? And the reason why we all connected is because we knew that. And the other people that are connected with us, they also know that. And they're willing to help each other out. That is the one big difference between being in corporate and being an entrepreneur, that you understand there's a lot of abundance. And that is very simply in corporate, we all seem to be stabbing each other in the back, trying to climb up the ladder. And whenever we are an entrepreneur, whenever you've got your own business, you have abundance, you know that there is not competition. Nobody's trying to stab each other. We're all trying to help each other out.
So, that's beautiful because, if you break down The Science of Getting Rich, which is a book that everyone should read, it talks about do not live in competing. You want to live in creation and collaboration. You don't want to compare. You don't want to compete. You want to create and you want to collaborate. So the big thing is this. When someone hires me, when someone hires you, everyone sees what the value of what I taught you guys and you continue to learn from, or what people, what people can learn from you guys. There's a big pendulum shift that people need to make in two aspects. One, waiting for the perfect time. Let me wait until after this event or the next paycheck or in a couple months. And the other is people seeing it as an expense rather than an investment into what the potential and possibility that investment in themselves and their business can become. So what can you guys share? Because I didn't have to convince you guys that we should collaborate. You know, when I spoke to Jenny, you're like, all right, here's my credit card. What do we need to do? Because you saw that, like, what the picture that I was painting for you, you guys saw what the potential of this can be. So for the people that are on here or maybe watch this at a later time that are struggling with, you know, taking that leap of faith of wanting to learn more. And I'm, you know, Craig and Jenny, the people that we're talking about are the ones that are, you know, in your case, they're feeling, they're physically struggling. They're emotionally and mentally struggling. And the people that I speak to are financially struggling. They want greater wealth from what I can teach them the way that you guys did. So what can you say on that for that person that they're on the fence, they're waiting for that perfect time, and going from that and switching the mindset from seeing something as an expense to an investment? What's the best way for someone to do that?
Sure. Well, let me say, I mean, I've got a couple stories, and one was actually just very recent. You know, you mentioned about waiting. Everybody is waiting for the perfect time or after a concert, or after this. I mean, they have all these excuses. That's one of the biggest problems with most people and limited is because of their excuses. In our retreat that we just came back from, it was and a few days ago, we went on this gorgeous hike. But before we got on this hike, there's no hike that I've ever found that you can just walk 2 blocks and all of a sudden you come to a beautiful waterfall. I mean, you actually have to trek through something. Well, there was this road. We were in 2 cars, and somebody was following us, and we were going down this road, and it was a little bumpy and there was a lot of switchbacks, and it was taking
Kind of scary, quite. The road was pretty scary.
It was taking a little bit of time to get there. And I already had it on Google Maps, so I was already going there. But the people that were following us, they weren't sure. So think about this. The people that were following us, just like the people that are following you or following anybody out there, is where do you stop? Where do you go? Well, what happened was that they were beeping the horn behind us. And then all of a sudden I saw them, hey, wait a minute. And I pulled over to the side. They pulled up to us. They go, when are we going to get there? And what was funny is I showed them, I turned my phone to them and I said, we are 0.2 miles from there. So what happens for so many people is they're so close to greatness, so close to that next step, and they just can't see that it is only a few more steps away. And once I showed them that, and all of a sudden then we took off, we're like, oh, we're there. And that's what happens to most people in their lives. And you mentioned also about a puzzle. And we always say this, that most people, whenever they've all put a jigsaw puzzle together. And we asked everybody, what's the most important piece of that puzzle? And most people are thinking like maybe a corner, maybe an edge. It's really the box top and the vision. And whenever we're talking about that puzzle, you, Scott, or us, however we're dealing in our own businesses, what we do is, you're actually one of those pieces that people need to latch onto because they're trying to get that piece and they're trying to turn it, they're trying to fit it in the right place. You're just helping them with that piece of the puzzle, which is growing their revenues, growing their LinkedIn contacts. And it's instead of them trying to figure it out themselves, why not go to the expert to help with that piece of puzzle together?
Yeah, and I think on the investment side, Scott, as far as investing the money in it, people are willing to go out and spend money on clothes and shoes and cars and houses and all these fancy things to make themselves look better in some way, right? People have a very hard time, though, I believe, investing in themselves. When they take a chunk of money and they invest it into their own business, they invest it into coaching with you, with us, with any sort of coach, really what they're investing in is themselves. And where the challenge comes is that a lot of times we don't believe enough in ourselves. So we don't believe that our ROI on that investment is going to be very high because we doubt our own belief. But that's where a coach like you or us becomes so important, because we will hold them accountable to the point that even if they don't yet believe in themselves, because of the accountability that we're providing, we're going to get there. So, for example, I'll use working with you on LinkedIn. We worked with you for 4 weeks in the intense training, right? And during each one of those weeks, I didn't yet have the confidence to be putting myself out there on LinkedIn the way that you had us do it. But I knew that every week I had to get back on the phone and I had to talk to you, and you were going to be pulling up my account and you were going to be looking at what I did that week. So that account, and don't let that scare you people, it's a good thing. But that accountability that you provide forces us just far enough out of our comfort zone that we take action and we start to see the results. And then it is a snowball effect of positive results that happen. And so believe me, those first couple messages that you send, those first couple people you reach out to, it's scary. You go, oh my God, am I really doing this? But then it starts to build and it starts to snowball. And that's what coaching is all about, because it only takes one opportunity to change your life forever. And you never know where that opportunity lies. And so as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, we have to learn to invest in ourselves. That's the best investment that you can make. And it is because you know that if you put in the work, it literally will, your return on in your investment will be exponential.
Yeah, a couple things came up. So one, I was at the gym this morning and I was, replying to people, and this ad came up on Facebook for 75% off of Ferragamo shoes. And for those that don't know what Ferragamo is, it's a very high-end shoe. And I clicked on it and it's like a $450 shoe for $75. And I'm like, I want them. And then I'm like, no, that is not like like, no matter how much personal development we all do, and I just want people to be, I'm being transparent here. All of us go through this. The egoic mind will rear its head time to time. And success looks like different things to people. So for me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need a new pair of shoes anyway. I don't want to pay full price. I can get these Ferragamos for $75. And, people can say, oh, nice Ferragamos for what? And I have shoes in my closet that are completely suffice. And so it brings up the point that we spend money on what we choose to spend money for. So the other thing is this. I use this analogy with people. So when you guys talk to people, when I talk to people, you're not happy with the income that your business is bringing in. You're not happy with physically how you feel. Let me ask you a question. If you were driving to work today and you got 2 flat tires, you have 1 spare in the trunk, you have to call AAA, you have to go get towed to the dealership to replace those 2 tires, which are probably going to cost you anywhere between $175 to $200 each. Would you be able to come up with money to fix those tires to continue on your day? And the answer is always yes. And then I always say, well, you have a flat tire in your business and in your health. What is the difference?
Exactly.
And then they don't know
and
what to say.
This is a funny story, Scott. That's right. So the funny story is, this same hike that we were going on, where people pulled up behind the barn and wanted to know how much we were to get there, about 30 minutes before that on the drive, we had a flat tire in the car. So we literally had left the retreat in these cars. A couple miles in, we get a flat tire. We stop. We change the flat tire. We continue on, and 0.2 of a mile before we reach destination, right? We reach success. We want to stop because it might be too, right? And so sometimes we have to push ourselves. And you're right. And there is good debt and there is bad debt, right? Bad debt is racking up the credit cards on all those Ferragamo shoes and the fancy dresses and purses and sneakers and trips and all this stuff. The good debt is investing in yourself to grow your business. You cannot grow a business efficiently and effectively without coaching. Bottom line, you just can't, because the human does not have the capacity that it needs. The human mind does not have the capacity it needs to hold itself accountable during times of major change to continue to push forward, because it will be uncomfortable. And the most successful people out there, the biggest problem they run into is continuing to find somebody that can continue to coach them. But the most successful people in the world all have coaches, right? You take a Michael Jordan, for example, and Michael Jordan never hit a point in his basketball career that he stopped getting coaching. He didn't get good and make the pros and then say, well, I don't need any coaching anymore because I'm good now. We always need a coach. And as a matter of fact, you should never hire a coach that doesn't have their own coaches. Because then that's stagnant.
I love that.
So
and that's the thing. I recently started. Yeah, I recently started working with someone to learn some new things, because every coach has someone that they want to learn something new from, where they can take that value and then bring it back to other people. So before we close out today's Facebook Live, people are listening to this, and both of you have a finance background. Both of you were six-figure earners in corporate world. You have 5 children together. So, and people would say, well, you know, why would you ever leave the finance industry where you guys were making a seriously amazing living together, to leave it all behind, to go into the entrepreneurial space, to do what you're doing now? Because there are people that still live in that mindset, well, I have kids and they have this and my job and this, that, or the other. And there is a leap of faith that you must take, because if you leave that stone unturned, you go to the grave with the one statement that no one ever wants to go to the grave with, and that's what if. So if someone was to say to you, why would you guys even leave corporate America where you were making this great income to do what you're doing now? And why LinkedIn? Why did you feel that was the next step for your business to take your business and your brand to the next level?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, well, first of all, let me say that leap of faith was, I mean, I could probably talk for hours, but we wanted to change the world. We wanted to change the paradigm of health in the world and give to the world, and for our family, because what we saw out there in society, in the world, was the only way I can say it is the employee mindset, which is, you know, I was told the story, you were told the story, you were told the story, and everybody out there was told the story, which was, listen, I want you, my mom said, Craig, I want you to get a good education. And then after that, I want you to get a great job. I want you to get married, have grandkids, have a great house, a white picket fence, a dog, a great 401k. I want you to live happily ever after. And as much as that can happen as we go along, it's not, it doesn't help us grow. We get stuck in this whole paradigm that we shouldn't be stuck in. We need to expand our mind. Matter of fact, what a lot of times we tell people is that we're in our own box, and because we're in our own box, we can't even see the label on the box. And that's exactly what coaching really does. It really helps us look at the label on the box.
Yeah. And ultimately, it helped us find the fulfillment that we wanted, right? When you're in corporate, it's very hard sometimes to find the true fulfillment of, why am I here on this planet? Is it to work for this person? Is it to change this corporation? Maybe it might be for some people, but we weren't feeling that. We felt we had more that we had to bring to the world, especially after going through my experience with the illness. So it allowed us to, one, do that for ourselves. It allowed us to show our kids that that was a possible route. Because otherwise, we saw the writing on the wall that our kids were going to spend, let's call it $200,000 to $300,000 a piece to get just a 4-year education, to come out making $35,000, $40,000 a year, and then what? Right? What were they going to do with that? We wanted to show them also another way, another path, what existed out there. And so LinkedIn for us was a way to reach these people that have been in corporate a long time and are feeling stuck and are waking up every day going, is this it? Is this all there is to my life? Because that might not mean they leave corporate. I'm not saying everybody needs to leave corporate, neither would Craig. But what we're saying is, you do need to look deep within yourself, and this is what we help people do, and then you show them how to put it out there on LinkedIn, right? But looking deep within themselves to find out what does fuel them, right? What drives them in their life? What do they want to be remembered about them? How do we reach that doing whatever they're doing to bring income in the door? Maybe they start a new business. Maybe they're doing something for charity. Maybe they're just finding their health and wellness again, so they wake up every day and know how good their body's supposed to feel. Or maybe we feel their relationship because they've been in a broken marriage for 20 years. Whatever it is. But how do we help them wake up every day and go, this is why I'm here. This is beautiful, right? And that's why we needed to get back out on LinkedIn. We needed to reach that business side to say, you know what, no matter what position you're in, corporate, entrepreneur, good relationships, bad relationships, health, suffering health, whatever it is, we can help you feel better every day waking up and knowing you're in the right place, the right thing for themselves.
So that was beautiful, and so were the both of you. And so, in closing, one final statement before we end today's interview. If there's one thing that you guys could leave with the viewers either now or at a later time, not only the benefit of coaching and mentoring, but utilizing LinkedIn for whatever business that person has, whether it's a coaching business, a network marketing business, what do you guys feel is the edge or the advantage to having that kind of tool in your business toolbox?
Repeat one more time what the tool is, because
We're back. Here we go. You
okay.
guys there?
So what was
Okay.
Yeah, you hear us? All right. Repeat one more time.
Yes.
What is the tool in the toolbox you said, because you broke up?
So what's the advantage for someone that has a network marketing opportunity or coaching business to have this tool of LinkedIn in their toolbox? What is the real advantage for someone that's sitting on the fence of saying, is that the right fit for me?
If you don't have an endless source of people to call and talk to on the phone every day, because you need to talk to people. You can't just email, you can't just text, you need to have human conversations. And if you don't have an endless supply of people to schedule phone calls with every single day, then you have to work with Scott. Period. You have to, because Scott will show you how to create an endless stream of people that you can have human conversations with. And that's where business gets done. That's where collaborations are formed. And that's when your business changes.
Awesome. So I just wanted to say how grateful, appreciative I am of the both of you. I love you guys so much. You're doing such amazing things for so many people. And for anyone that wants to learn more about Craig and Jenny, you deserve to. I linked their website in this. It's www.craigandjenny.com. You can find them both on Facebook, Craig and Jenny D, and Instagram, Craig and Jenny D, to learn more about their workshops, their coaching, the immersions that they have. And they're all, some of them are local, some of them are in New York, New Jersey, Philly. So, some of them are further away, but they do provide great resources right here in the tri-state area if that's where you're from. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for seeing the value in me to provide that for you. And I look forward to future collaborations with you both.
Thanks, you, Scott. It's been such a pleasure.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.